So for the last few weeks, we at the Next Episode podcast have been looking into sexual abuse in the music industry. And it's quite a difficult topic. A lot of the time people don't really want to talk about it. They're scared to, or they just don't think anybody's going to listen. And it's quite warranted. They're often going up against powerful people who are still in the music industry. They could lose their career. We're going to be hearing from musicians who are speaking out for the first time. The stories are quite harrowing and hard to hear, and they are talking about people who are still in the music industry today. But this episode is all about listening to these women and hearing the stories. I'm meeting a woman called Sarah Gosling. Sarah presents a BBC introducing show in Devon, and we've got her involved because it felt like a good idea to have a woman in music leading this conversation. I mean, I suppose the music world still hasn't had its Me Too moment, has it, really, in the same way Hollywood has? And you are kind of deeply embedded in the music industry. Mm-hmm. What made you interested in this?
There are constant inklings that something is going on below the surface. You know, people being like, oh, that person might be a bit dodgy, probably don't go into a room alone with them, that sort of thing. And you always hear about the sexualisation of pop stars and how girls are told they have to lose weight and stuff like this. But the music industry is completely different to the movie industry. It's not centralised, it's everywhere, and so it's going to be a lot harder.
And who are the women you've spoken to?
So I spoke to Aluna Francis on Skype from LA. So she's half of Aluna George, who are absolutely massive, as we know, had some absolute bangers. Then also Rebecca Taylor. So she used to be in a band called Slow Club. She's now doing a solo project called Self Esteem, about to go on tour with Florence and the Machine. And then Chloe Howl. So she's a Brit-nominated singer-songwriter. She got her first publishing deal at 15. So she's grown up through this and has been a party to a lot of disturbing things. So I wondered if you would be happy to, and you feel okay doing so, if you would be happy to share kind of some of your own Me Too moments that have happened and perhaps the situation around them that led to that happening.
I'm so scared of telling my story. I swear to you, like I've got it here on my notes. I've got the whole story here and I could read it out to you, but I'm just like, how do I get it out without like all the consequences? I think I have a phobia or something. I'd started working on a song with somebody. We were out with a group, and then actually I couldn't get home. My phone died, and so he offered to lend me his charger. I'd asked like everyone in the hotel we were at. The staff, everyone, and nobody had a charger, and I needed to get home. So, and also this person was a fellow peer, like someone totally, like I feel like I have a radar for like pervy guys, right? I'm sure you all do. And I thought I was at the stage of my career where I was untouchable, and I had been around so many men and done lots of things like worn boys' clothes, and I always shake your hand really strong, and I'm always so clear about how musically oriented I am. I've never slept with anyone in the whole industry. There's no rumors about me. And you know, we go up to his hotel room, and that, I mean, it was like I was in a room with a completely different person. Like his behaviour went from 0 to 100 with what he was doing, and I have no idea what this guy is up to. He's doing some pretty crazy stuff right now. I tried to reason with him. I was like, all right, mate, calm down. Like, take your hands out of my pants, please. Like, all this kind of stuff. And he thought it was a game. So everything that I did excited him more.
Yeah. Did you manage to kind of get out of that situation in the end?
Yeah, I did. I kind of, the point, what was I going to have?
If you need to pause for a second, Aluna, that's fine. Thank you for saying it.
He crossed the line, you know. The last thing that was happening before I really got myself out there is that he pinned me down. He'd taken his trousers down and he was trying to put his dick in my mouth. So I wrestled him off, and he was still laughing because he thought it was a game and that I was having a really fun time having a pretend rape situation. And you would think that I understood how wrong this was straight away, and I didn't. And I think there's so much shame about these kind of situations, about like, am I that stupid? Like, what's wrong with me? Why have I compartmentalized all of this just for my career? Like, that's madness. And I got like in the studio with this guy, got through it, and everyone got to have what they wanted.
A label that my then band really wanted to be on, like an American label. Their label boss was over in the UK. We were like, sort of, we all went out. He grabbed my vagina and said, am I going to have a good time in London? And I was like, went home, so I didn't say anything, didn't tell anyone. Really still wanted to be on that label, and like, and it wasn't just me. I wasn't just representing myself, I was representing my whole band, and that's not just, so it's not just up to me. I can't make a fuss, I felt like, about that, because I can't jeopardise our chance as an ambitious person, and as a also it's ingrained into me, I don't know, I think it's because I'm a woman, to not make a fuss, and just be as easy to deal with as possible. Obviously I don't do that now, and if that happened to me today, my God, would it be different. And I still, you know, this said person comes, I see them now and again and think, you won't remember because you're blind drunk, but that's why it's such a huge defining moment in my life that I keep coming back to. But also it's a comfort now, because I know how much stronger I am now.
The one that I maybe speak the most about, who became very possessive over me, they had a lot of control over my day-to-day life, and they kind of used that, and they began sending me quite sexually charged texts. They'd just be very controlling over my time, who I was hanging out with. I was very young, I didn't really see it, I couldn't really see it, and I was so young, I didn't really understand the situation. You know, you don't really want to rock the boat, and then you're kind of scared for your own position in that dynamic. So that was kind of one of the big ones that ended up in a lot of, that affected me financially, that affected my passion for music, all sorts. Again, it was one of those things that I didn't really realise had happened to the scale that it had until I grew up and looked back on it, and I was like, whoa, the way you were talking to me is not how a member of your team should be talking to you. They're not allowed to text you those things. They're not allowed to pressure you to invite them back to your hotel room. And I've been felt up a few times by people that I've worked with. Yeah. Still, it feels like it's women who are having to crusade and educate people about the oppression that they suffer, which sucks.